Hello kindred soul, welcome back to my channel. Randina Marie here, Queen of Rapid Transformation, and today I'm going to teach you a green light healing technique that is going to revolutionize your life and more than likely change your life forever. So I've used this technique for decades now. I've taught it to several people and we all have the same phenomenal results. And you can use it to heal an animal, you can use it to heal a friend, you can use it to heal a family member, you can even use it to heal people that you don't know. Whether you're a healer or not does not matter. So let's just dive into it so I can give you the 5-step process. So this technique is called the green light mirror technique, and it is one that is just so beautiful and so phenomenal, and I'm so happy that I am blessed to be able to teach it to you today. One of my best friends asked me to make a video for her and her sisters because her mom is terminally ill and she wanted to help her mom the same way that I helped my mom using this technique. So I thought I might as well make a video for everyone because we can all get so much benefit out of it. Plus the state of the world right now, we definitely need more of us coming together using our natural innate healing powers to help other people. Because whether you know it or not, you are a natural healer. You know, when you cut yourself or when your stomach hurts, you instinctively put your hands there. It's because you have healing powers within your body. Think about a cut, right? Say a cut happens, you know what happens, your body starts going to work to heal that cut. So you have access to this power. In fact, you are that power. And I have taught it to people who were not healers, who didn't think they were healers, that were able to use it also for themselves and their families. And they also had really good results. So I hope that you take today and take it to heart and really use it on someone who needs it in your life. Someone that you know may be struggling, whether they're struggling with illness or depression or something else that's going on, or you know that they just need a pick-me-up. Someone that is near and dear to your heart, even someone that you see driving down the road that you think could use this help. It only takes a few seconds to do it once you get the process down, and you will be able to be a living, walking beacon of light, even more than you already are, and help the whole world ascend through what we're going through right now. So I first stumbled upon a version of this technique in Sylvia Brown's book. I can't remember the exact one that it was because, like I said, it was decades ago. However, I do remember the green light healing technique with the mirrors that she outlined in her book, and I remember trying it and it definitely worked. And I'm going to share that story with you too because it's just phenomenal, and it will also help you to have that belief there that will help you when doing this process. So I've modified it to meet how I am as a healer. So you can modify this technique. There's just some fundamentals that do need to be kept in the green light healing and the mirrors, which you're going to see when I take you through this process. You are welcome to do this process along with this video. All you have to do is write down the person's name. The first person that comes to mind is usually the one who's calling for this. So you don't have to worry about infringing on anybody else's free will power of free will, you know, their rights, because there is always some part of us, that higher self part of us, that is guiding us towards the light and does want us to live happier, better, healthier lives. So you're not infringing upon their free will by doing this. You're actually helping them and creating a light transfer way, you know, a segue for them to be able to connect into that energy as well. You know, when you think about somebody else, they feel you. It's why when you think about someone, they call you or you see them, because we're all energetically connected and your thought is that powerful. So when you're thinking of them in this healing light energy and you're holding them in this healing light energy, you're creating a way for them to be able to have their life filled with light rather than maybe the darkness that they're in. So it is a really beautiful process, and I hope that you really just use it. You can use it for anything. You can even use it for your business. You know, whatever you need, you can use this process for. So write down the name on a piece of paper. I would stick with a person for this video, and then after that you can switch it up if you want to once you get really good at it. And then just prepare for the results. So the first time that I used this technique was a very painful day. I got a phone call on Mother's Day and I was alerted that my stepmom was in the ER, and they didn't know why. They didn't know what was happening, but she had gone into a coma and they didn't expect her to live. Now, back up just a little bit, she had been diagnosed with scleroderma, and if you know anything about scleroderma, you know that the mortality rate is almost 100% within a few years of being diagnosed. So they were just chalking it up to that, something going wrong with this illness that she had. And I had already lost a mother, and I was not going to lose another mother. So when I got that phone call, it was just like deja vu, you know, living that whole experience all over again. So we rushed to the hospital, and it was in Stanford, and we went to the ICU where she was. And in the ICU, you can only go in 2 at a time. You know, at this time, you could only go in 2 at a time, and you only had a few minutes. So my family and I were gathered in the waiting room. We were going in intervals to see her, and she was non-responsive. And what I noticed was that the doctors were gathered around her, talking about how bad her levels were, how bad she was doing. They didn't know what was wrong with her. They didn't think she was going to make it. And in the bed next to her was a woman who was passing away, and her daughters were there crying. So it was just like this crazy whirlwind that was happening, and I was seeing this happen. And I was also seeing my stepmom, which is the second mom to me, laying in the bed, her lifeless body. But I had done some research on what happens when someone goes into a coma, because my own mother was in a coma for a while, and I knew that she could still hear everything that was going on, right? They have scientifically proven that when you're in a coma, you can still hear everything that's going on. And so I was just like, this can't be happening. So I went out into the waiting room and I told my dad, I said, listen, we all need to be positive. That's the only thing that's going to save us right now. We need to have everybody praying for this situation for us. My dad's on the phone with his church, like talking to people. Everybody's praying because he's about to lose his wife. You know, it was also devastating to him too. My stepbrothers were there, and they were about to experience the loss of their mother, and nobody knew what was going on. And I went to the doctors and I told them, I said, you need to put headphones on her with classical music on. You cannot be talking about her results in front of her anymore. You know these studies that have been done. And to my surprise, they obliged, and they listened to me, and they did what I asked them to do. Put headphones on her with classical music so she couldn't hear anything that was going on. I told my family, I said, every time we go in there, we need to talk to her and tell her that she's doing good. Her levels are up, even if they're not. I mean, I was in there telling her levels were growing up. She was doing amazing. She was going to make it through, tears, sobbing, barely able to get the words out. But I knew that I had to talk to her like that. And they still weren't able to figure out what was going on. So I went outside. I remembered this technique that I had just read about, and I went downstairs and I went outside. I was standing in the grass, and I'm like, okay, you know, it's literally this or nothing, you know, like there's no other choice for me. So I sat down, I closed my eyes, and I did this process in my mind, because that's all it takes is for you to do it in your mind. I get up, go back inside, and all of a sudden her levels literally started going up again, and she started doing even better, and they figured out a treatment that they could do for her to bring her back out of it. And when she had come out of it, she had told me that she remembered me talking to her. Now, she doesn't remember this to this day distinctively like she did when she just came out, because of all the medications that she was on and has been on since then. But she is still alive today, and that was years and years and years ago, right? So you really, really want to know the power of this. And it doesn't matter if someone in your life has a terminal illness, or they have already, you know, chalked them off to not living, or somebody who just is experiencing migraines, suffering from migraines, or an identity crisis, or maybe was just diagnosed with cancer, or a pet that is not feeling well. You can use this for everybody, because I have used it for everybody, and it does work every single time. So since that day, I do this healing process on her, and she still doesn't know to this day that I am continuously doing this for her. And it's been years since it first happened. I do this for her at least once or twice a month now. You know, whenever I'm in meditation, I just go in and I do it. Or when I'm saying my nightly prayers of thanks, I go in and I do it. Like I said, it doesn't take very long, and you can keep doing it, and it will help them. There's only been one time that it didn't work, and that was because the soul of the person that we were doing it for was ready to transition. Now I knew it wasn't going to work. When I intuitive, I could feel it, and I was like, this person is ready to go. So the more you develop your psychic gifts and the more you become in tune with it, and doing this process is going to help you do that because you're getting in tune with your healing powers. It's also going to help you develop your psychic abilities and your healing abilities. You don't need to be certified or trained to be a healer. You already are, and you've probably been doing this for lifetimes. You just aren't conscious of that yet, or maybe you are. And so doing this, I knew I could feel that he just wasn't wanting to stay. And so what ended up happening was it made his transition a lot easier, right? It made it easier. He was more at peace. He was feeling calm, and he was happy. And so it really is important for you to remember, you can't force it. You have to just intuit and feel into it and do it from the kindness of your heart and kind of let go. Because like we talked about in the beginning of this video, there is the free will choice. And so if they are ready to leave and transition and go to another dimension that they're ready for, or to heaven or whatever you believe, then it's good for you to do this for them, to allow them to have an easy segue into that experience. It is really beautiful. And like I said, that was 1 out of thousands. So it works for the majority of people. It definitely will make their lives feel better. And one way you'll know is they will either reach out or contact you after you do this. And I advise you not to tell them that you're doing this, because it's something that you want to see the magic work. Like, you want to see them send you some notification, or you want to see them, a picture of them on social media of them doing better, and just knowing that you helped in that, right? That you connected in and that you helped in that is more than enough. And remember, every good thing that you give out, you get back tenfold. So it will also help you to balance your karma and to feel into that feel-good energy. And it is a pick-me-up. You'll see after you do it, you feel so much better as well. So you're doing it for them and you're doing it for yourself. And it really is just amazing at how beautiful and phenomenal your life transforms doing this for other people. Okay, so number 1 is let go of any beliefs that you can't do this, because you can. You heal yourself all the time. Your body does it. As long as you have an imagination and a heart, you can do it. And I know you have both, or you wouldn't be watching this. So we're going to get into the process. So the way I usually start this is I invoke the angels. So even if you're not familiar with working with the angels, it really doesn't matter, because they are there, they're all around. There are millions and trillions of angel stories. I work with them. I know they're real. They do most of my healings for me. So all you have to do is call them in. You invoke them, right? You use the power of your free will to invoke the angelic realm. And you can just do that by saying, Archangel Michael, I call you to come to me now. You can also say, Archangel Raphael, I summons you to be with me now to help me do this. That's it. That's all you have to say. If you aren't into angels, or you aren't working with angels, you don't have to call them in. You can do it without the angels. Sylvia Brown, the way I learned through her was just doing it with her mind. So you can do it. You can just do it with your mind. Okay, so now we're going to get into it. So step 1. Call upon Archangel Michael and Archangel Raphael. So Archangel Raphael is the healing angel, right? He's the green light energy. He's the heart chakra angel. So if you call upon him, it will naturally invoke that area within you. And then surround yourself with the white light of divine love. So all you have to do for that is to close your eyes and tune into your heart and surround yourself with the white light of divine love. Step 2 is to close your eyes and tune into your heart and see the person in your mind's eye who you're doing this for, or just feel into them. Now, seeing doesn't mean that you're just going to see it and that they're going to appear in front of you, although sometimes they might. Frequently they will. It also is feeling. It's the intention, right? It's your intention that matters. And then what you're going to do is you're going to surround them in green light. So with your eyes closed, tuning into your heart, call them up to mind. I surround you with green light. Step 3. As you're seeing them in your mind's eye, you want to see them laying flat, right? Like they're laying down, laying flat. So fill them with this green light like they're in a bath of it. Just their whole body, from their head all the way to their feet, emanating out through their body. And their energy. And now we move into step 4. Now you're going to surround them with mirrors all around them facing outwards. So just imagine mirrors being surrounded all around them facing outwards. And however your mind constructs this, it's the right way. Step 5. You're going to say, I call upon the healing power of the divine, and I summons miraculous healing for, and then state their name. And then you're going to say, it is done. Thank you. And that's it. That really is all it takes for you to be able to send this healing power to someone else. So you can do this for 7 nights in a row or 7 days in a row. I like to do it at night right before I go to sleep because it feels like it's the most powerful time for me. But you can do it at any point in time. Me and my sisters used to have this healing prayer where we would come together and we would do it for a different person every single day, combining our energies. So if you want to use this with other people, it really does amplify what is happening, as the power of 2 is the mastermind, right? And the more that you have, the more momentum there is. So it's one of the reasons why my friend asked me to make this for her and her sisters, so they could all come together and do this as well. So for those of you who are her sisters who are watching this, thank you so much for wanting to do this for her. And what you're going to find is her illness will slow. Like the progression will slow down, and also she'll be more comfortable, she'll be more happy, right? She may even start remembering more things. If you know where the area of the illness is taking hold, you can even deliberately send the green light into that space, right? Especially if you have physical contact with this person, you can just use your hands to do it. Now, you want to be mindful that you're not doing it out of your own need to keep that person around. You want to make sure that you're doing it out of the kindness of your soul, and that it's unanimous and harmonious for all of you. And you will see results. You will see phenomenal results doing this, especially if you're doing it together. So again, thank you so much to you all and to anyone who is doing this for someone that they love. I'm really excited for the results that you are going to see with doing this. You can also do this for yourself, right? Like if you have ailments, you just send that green light energy into that area and feel into that. You know, calling the angelic realm does help in that process as well. Like I said before, the person does not have to have a physical illness. They could have a mental illness or just be suffering from some sort of depression, anything like that, you know, which can turn into mental instability. So it is also important that you use your power to help other people. So I'm going to give you some powerful tips to go along with this. So one of the things that you can do is to hold an amethyst crystal. You can see the amethyst crystal is a quartz, and it is one of the most powerful healing stones. You can see the purple and then also the white color here. You might want to get a smaller one. I have this one just for the purposes of you knowing what an amethyst crystal looks like, if you don't already know that. You can hold this in your hand, right? You can hold it in your hand while you're doing it and charge it. Right? You're charging it with your intention. And then you can give it to the person if you feel called. You don't have to tell them what it's for. You don't have to tell them why you're giving it to them. Just gift it to them. You would be surprised at how many people love receiving crystals. Then it will always be, you know, on their dresser, or you can tell them to put it under their pillow and they can sleep with it because it is a healing stone. So they will be receiving the healing powers of crystals. If you're not familiar on the science of crystals, I would really advise you to look into it, because they do vibrate at such a high frequency and they do hold energy as well. So they do work. It is very scientific. It's not just woo-woo. It does work. So holding an amethyst crystal in your hand when you do this for the person and then giving it to them is a beautiful thing to do. Powerful tip number 2, you can call upon your spirit guides. We all have spirit guides, whether you are familiar with them or not, you have them. You can call upon them and ask them to give you any messages, and any messages that you receive for the person, you can just write it down and then just deliver it to that person. And what you're going to find when you are immersed in this healing energy is that you do receive messages for them. It might be something that they could add to their diet that will help them. It might be a medical treatment that will help them. You would be surprised at what comes through when you are being open, when you're an open channel in this way. And then you will also be surprised at how powerful your psychic gifts are and how easy they are to activate and awaken. Okay, so the key points are: you are a natural healer. You do have power and you can use it. The angelic realm listens and responds to your requests. You can do this for yourself. You don't have to know the person. The power of 3, right? So you also want to remember that the power of 3 does multiply. The power of 2 multiplies, right? But the 3 is the Trinity, right? The Trinity. So if you could do this with 2 other people, it's amazing. Like I said, I didn't do it with other people. I did it myself, and it worked amazing. And I still to this day do it with myself, because I call in Archangel Raphael, Archangel Michael, and my guides, and that is also the power of 3. And you are not responsible for another's healing. You are responsible for your own, and for your own power, and for keeping your mind in the highest and most optimistic point of view that you can, because that is where the light is. So I hope that you've enjoyed this video. I hope that you have gained some value out of it. If you have, please like, subscribe, and share, and stay notified so that when I upload new videos, I do have new videos coming that are about manifesting techniques, other healing techniques, and just really amazing things. So if you're interested, hit the like button, the subscribe button, and the share button, and do this with more than one person. I love you so much, and I thank you for being here on this planet with me at this time, doing this powerful, beautiful work to help all of humanity and the animal kingdom, mineral kingdom, all of Earth. Again, I love you. Mwah. Have a beautiful day.